Hello, everyone. My name is Beth Smith, and I am one of the partners with GWIZ Education. I'm here to give you a very quick overview of our 2 units for July 2020. And I am currently logged in as a GWIZ customer, and this tab, GWE Customers, will appear if you are a customer and are signed in. Then you will go to this month's units. And you'll see our 2 units for this month coming up July are it is picnic time, and then the second one is called Super Storytellers. If you scroll down, our June units are still currently available and will stay available until approximately July the 5th. So if you have not downloaded and saved those files to your computer, I would highly encourage you to do them now when you're doing your July units. That way you know you have them, and be sure to back them up some way, either a flash drive, external hard drive, or the cloud. We're excited because we actually have a new unit or a new component to share with you starting in July, which I will explain in just a second. But for right now, I'm going to go into the English files, and I want to just talk a little bit about things you're going to want to prepare or collect ahead of time for the unit. It's picnic time. Obviously, if you have access to a picnic basket, that would be great. You might want to ask your parents or caregivers if they can potentially send one in if you don't have one. You'll want some plastic fruits and vegetables as well, because we're going to be talking about healthy foods that you can eat on a picnic. There are some cooking experiences planned in this unit, so be sure to take a look at the materials list that will detail what those are, and you can decide whether or not you want to do them, and if so, you'll be able to plan ahead in terms of what you're going to purchase. Um, the unit is designed to be done a lot of things outdoors, so hopefully the weather will cooperate. Obviously, picnicking is something that happens outside, but we're also going to talk about places that people can picnic, not just in your community, but maybe picnicking at the beach, picnicking in the mountains. There's a lot covered in this unit. So if you go into your teacher's guide, which is where the lesson plans are, and you look at the second page, there's a great overview of what the unit is going to be about. If you want to plan a family picnic, this would be a great unit to do that. It would fit in naturally with what you're going to be talking about. And then on this next page, there is an overview of all the activities we have planned. And a lot of providers will print this one page out and post it so that parents and guardians kind of know what's coming up. Um, so this unit is going to be all about picnicking. It is the first unit of the month, so it is going to have a story that goes along with it, which is called Pack the Picnic Basket. So you want to be able to prepare that ahead of time. The text for the story is in the user's guide, and the story props themselves will be a separate file. I will show you where they are. But we're not going to spend a lot of time going through the teacher's guide. I would encourage you, however, to make sure that you do read through it ahead of time so you can get an idea of the things we have planned, and then you can plan your own experiences, because remember, we are the beginning of a house of foundation of what you're going to build on for this unit, and then we want you to add your own ideas based on the individual needs and interests of the children in your group. So I'm going to get out of the teacher's guide. Here are the story props for that story I just mentioned, Pack the Picnic Basket. And in the teacher's guide, it'll tell you how to prepare these. So you want to do that ahead of time. The materials list, like I mentioned, is very helpful. Anything in red is something you just might need a little extra time to prepare or to gather. But if you go to the last page of any materials list for any GWIS unit, you will see boxes in yellow. And there's one here for parents and guardians. For instance, I mentioned about the picnic basket, but also we're going to need bathing suits and beach towels and sunscreen. But other things you're going to need for this unit, like I mentioned, making oatmeal cookies. If you plan to do some cooking with the children and you need the ingredients, that's something you're going to want to gather ahead of time. So that's really important to take a look at the materials list. The other components, the add and enhance, are additional things you're going to want to gather to enhance the learning environment in your program. So different things you can put out for use during free play. These are not required things, but they are recommended things to enhance the unit. So again, there might be some things here, for instance, backpacks or hiking boots, or even a toy fishing pole, that if you ask your family members to send in, they may have things to help you out there. The literacy and letters, again, is for those children who are ready to do more with letters and letter sounds. But what I want to do right now, all these components have been around, and if you're a customer, you're very familiar with them. But this one, called Connecting the Dots, is brand new. So we just completed a webinar about this new component and why we created it and what the intention behind it is. And I will show you after I go through the units for July where you can find that recorded video, because it is very important for you to watch. But basically, what this component does is it helps you link the GWIS activities to specific skills, and then those skills are often very similar to the ones you would find on your formal child assessment. We know that some people use ages and stages, some people use gold. There are a lot of them out there. So that is the purpose behind this intention behind this new component. It is 16 pages long. You can choose to view it on your computer, or you can choose to print it out. This explains a little bit about what it is and how it works, but I want to show you what it looks like. So this grid has always been in the back of the teaching guide, where we show you by day, by experience title, all the specific skills that are covered in that particular activity. Now, in GWIS, we call them learning indicators, but what they really are skills. And LD1, LD2, LD3, LD4, they all align with a specific skill. So this chart is an overview of all 10 days, all the experiences we have planned, all the skills they address, and then the school age are here. But what we've done in this document to save you hopefully a lot of time and make it easier for you to align with your particular child assessment is we have taken each one of those, LD1, which is understand spoken language, and then we've listed all the experiences that are planned in the GWIS curriculum for this unit that address that skill. We've also left a place here for you to write down the codes for the skills in your assessment. So maybe in the assessment that you do, for instance, understand spoken language is LS1 or LS023 or some code, and you can write that on here, and then you'll know when you're doing the experiences you're addressing this particular skill. The other way you can use this is, let's say you have a child who is working hard on understanding spoken language. Maybe it's one of your ELL, DLL children who speaks two languages. These are activities that you can go to and you can say, okay, when this child is doing the fresh and fabulous experience, I will be able to observe to see if they are in fact demonstrating skill in the area of understand spoken language. So what this document does is it goes through each one of the skills. There's LD2, which is understands and then uses an ever increasing vocabulary, LD3, LD4, and you can see we've also used your picture codes here. So you know all these skills right now are aligned with language development. Then we go into literacy knowledge, which are the yellow sections, and the same thing, LK1, LK2. And this goes all the way through all 10 developmental areas and all 40 of our learning indicators slash skills. And there will be one of these with each GWIS unit from this point forward. So we're really hoping that this tool helps you as you connect the activities and experiences in the GWIS curriculum to the developmental areas and our 10 learning indicators or skills and your formal assessment, okay? So brand new component that you will find when you log in to get your July curriculum. So I'm going to get out of this one, and I just want to give you a brief overview of the Super Storyteller unit. So the Super Storyteller unit is going to cover a variety of different stories. We're going to talk about props used to tell stories. We're going to get very involved in telling stories. We have an original story called The Princess and the Pie, but then we're also going to do some stories like Stone Soup. We're going to do Anasazi and why he has 8 thin legs. So in the curriculum, you will see when you go into the English files, I want to show you something so you're not confused with this. It says teaching tools slash story props. As you know, in the GWIS curriculum, normally the first unit has story props, the second unit has a teaching tool. Well, because this unit is all about stories, we decided to give you props for the stories we're going to do. So if you click on this, you're going to see the props for the story I just mentioned, the original story, The Princess and the Pie. And yes, there's an option to make pies. And then you're going to also see the props for the other stories we are going to do during this unit, which are, as I said, Stone Soup and The Little Red Hen and Anansi. I think it's Anansi, and boy, he has 8 thin legs. He's a spider. So just not to be confused, the teaching tool actually is props to help you tell the stories during this unit. And if you scroll down, you'll see also that in the second unit, as you remember, well, first of all, here's the connecting the dots for this unit. And we also have the puppet that goes with this unit, which is not in the first unit, and then all the other components are the same. So the big new thing for this one is obviously the connecting the dots piece. I would highly encourage you to take some time to look through that, and I'm going to show you where you can go to watch the webinar about that on our website. I would take a look also at the materials list for this unit to see what you might need to gather ahead of time. And when we did our webinar with stories, YouTube has a lot of read aloud videos nowadays. So if you can't find the text for the stories will be in the back of the teacher's guide. But if you want books to add to your language center, say for Stone Soup or The Little Red Hen, obviously if you have those, add those. But if you don't have those and you want to do it in different media, check out YouTube, and there's oftentimes a lot of read alouds there that you can use as well. So the video about connecting the dots, I'm going to go back to the home page so you know where to go. If you go to the support tab and you go under webinar training video and you scroll down, right here, you're going to see the Connecting the Dots webinar, which you can click and watch. There's also 2 handouts. One of them you won't need if you're a customer because you will be getting the Connecting the Dots automatically. One of them is a sample of what that will look like. The other one is actually the PowerPoint presentation in a PDF format. And then if you watch it and you would like to do the post-assessment and get a certificate of attendance, you can do that. We have a lot of videos here in this section of our website, but this is one that's super important as you start using the connecting the dots piece. So I'm going to go back home and just wanted to give you a brief overview of what's planned for July. If you have not checked it out already, we have our new catalog for next year posted right here under our products. So be sure to check that out. It has our outline for next year. If you're not a customer, we are running a special offer right now. You can check it out here or under our products here. It's good until July 1. So I would encourage you to do that. And I thank you for your time. And we're glad to have you as part of GWiz. Hope you enjoy connecting the dots. If you have feedback, please share it with us at customerservice@gwizeducation.com. Thanks. Bye.